Two people went to prison for a murder they didn't commit. The real killer? He was out there. Smiling, this story isn't made up. It happened in the Pacific Northwest in the early 1990s when a monster roamed America's highways. On January 21st, 1990, a cyclist riding near the Columbia River Gorge outside Portland, Oregon, found a horrifying sight. The body of a young woman, beaten and strangled. Her name was Tanja Bennett, a 23-year-old with a warm smile and developmental disabilities. No ID was found, no clues pointed to her killer. Just a brutal crime that shook a small community. Police were stumped. Weeks turned into months with no answers. Then, in a shocking twist, a 57-year-old woman named Laverne Pavlinac and her boyfriend John Sosnovsky walked into the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. "We did it," Pavlinac said. The town was stunned. Why would they confess? Pavlinac claimed Sosnovsky forced her to help rape, murder, and dump Tanya's body. She recounted details from news reports, crafting a convincing lie. The police, eager to close the case, believed her. In February 1991, a jury convicted Pavlinac of felony murder, sentencing her to life. Sosnovsky, fearing the death penalty, pleaded no contest and also got life. Case closed. Done and dusted, right? Wrong. Months later, in early 1991, a chilling message was found scrawled on a bathroom wall at a Greyhound bus terminal in Livingston, Montana, hundreds of miles from Portland. It read, "I killed Tanja Bennett in Portland, Oregon, January 21st, 1990. I beat her to death, raped her, and loved it. Yes, I'm sick, but I enjoy myself." At the bottom, a smiley face. Police dismissed it as a prank. After all, they had their killers locked up. But the real killer wasn't in prison. He was out there, driving America's highways, hiding behind a charming grin. His name was Keith Hunter Jesperson, a 6'6" long-haul trucker from British Columbia. He'd earned a chilling nickname, the Happy Face Killer. Jesperson's killing spree didn't stop with Tanja. He targeted vulnerable women, hitchhikers, sex workers, transients, people society often overlooked. His job as a trucker was the perfect cover, letting him crisscross states like Oregon, California, Washington, Wyoming, Nebraska, and Florida. He'd charm his victims with a friendly smile, offering rides or drinks. Then, in the cab of his purple 1989 Peterbilt semi-truck, he'd turn into a monster. He strangled them with ropes, zip ties, or his bare hands. He dumped their bodies in remote woods, ditches, or along highways. And after each kill, he left his mark, a smiley face, sometimes carved into a nearby tree, sometimes drawn in letters he sent to taunt the police. In August 1992, he killed a woman he called Claudia in Blythe, California. Her body, found along Highway 95, remains unidentified, though DNA suggests ties to Las Vegas. A month later, Cynthia Lynn Rose, a 32-year-old sex worker, was found dead behind a cafe in Turlock, California. By November 1992, Lori Ann Pentland, 26, was strangled in Salem, Oregon, after Jesperson claimed she tried to overcharge him. In 1993, an unidentified woman's body was found in Santanella, California. In 1994, Suzanne Kellenberg, 34, was discovered along Interstate 10 in Florida. Each time Jesperson slipped away, his truck rolling into the night. He craved infamy. Frustrated that Pavlinac and Sosnovsky were getting credit for Tanya's murder, he sent a 6-page letter to the Oregonian newspaper, detailing his killings with gruesome precision. He bragged about strangling his victims, disposing of their bodies, and outsmarting the police. Each letter was signed with that chilling smiley face. A journalist, Phil Stanford, dubbed him the Happy Face Killer, and the name spread like wildfire. While Jesperson killed with impunity, Laverne Pavlinac and John Sosnovsky sat in prison, their lives shattered. Pavlinac, desperate to escape an abusive relationship with Sosnovsky, had read about Tanya's murder and saw a chance to get him arrested. She crafted a false confession, thinking it would free her. Instead, it trapped them both. They spent nearly 5 years behind bars, their pleas of innocence drowned out by the weight of their own words. Jesperson's reign of terror stretched from 1990 to 1995. He claimed up to 185 victims, though only 8 are confirmed. His final known victim was his girlfriend, Julie Ann Winningham, 41, killed in March 1995 in Washougal, Washington. Unlike his other victims, Julie knew Jesperson personally. After a fight over money, he strangled her and dumped her body along Highway 14. But this time, he'd slipped up. Investigators found a receipt with his signature at Julie's property. When questioned, Jesperson initially denied everything, but soon cracked under pressure. Days before his arrest on March 30th, 1995, He wrote a confession to his brother admitting to 8 murders. His brother turned the letter over to police. Jesperson's confession unraveled the case. He provided a key detail, the location of Tanya Bennett's purse, hidden in a ditch, known only to the killer. This proved Pavlanak and Sosnovsky were innocent. On January 7, 1996, after nearly 5 years in prison, they were released. But the damage was done. Years stolen by a false confession and a justice system too quick to convict. Jesperson, now 69, pleaded guilty to multiple murders across several states. He's serving 7 consecutive life sentences at the Oregon State Penitentiary, with no chance of parole. His daughter, Melissa Moore, was 15 when he was arrested. She later wrote a memoir, Shattered Silence, recounting the horror of discovering her father's crimes, including childhood memories of him torturing animals. Some of Jesperson's victims, like Claudia, remain unidentified, though DNA advances identified Patricia Skiffle in 2022 and Suzanne Kellenberg in 2024, bringing closure to their families. The Happy Face Killer's smiley faces were meant to taunt, to terrify, to make him infamous. But they became his downfall, exposing a monster who thrived on cruelty. For the families of his victims and for Pavlanak and Sosnovsky, the scars of his crimes will never fully heal. This killer wore a smile, but behind it was pure evil. Subscribe for more chilling true crime stories, because sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones who smile.